Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another edition, another exciting episode, another at-home stream, or at-desk stream, rather. I guess not in the studio stream. You guys aren't at home. I'm at home. Welcome back to Frontier Friday. I am, of course, CCP Jötunn, not in a cave today. Instead, out here on the frontier, once again, doing some cool stuff. We're going to show you some cool things today. Before anybody asks, it's not a fish stream. That stream was earlier. You missed it.
Yeah. Could be fish stream at any moment.
Could be fish stream at any moment.
We could do a stream where I just take people fly fishing.
We should do that.
I'd love to do that.
When we finished the cave stream, we were like, oh, where's the next insane stream gonna be? I pitched hot tub stream, in just like somebody's summer house up in the Highlands. Just like go up there with a camera.
I mean, CCP Paragon's already taught me how to fly fish, so we just get a hot tub to get some rods. We go stand in a river.
We could do, fly fishing stream would actually be kind of based, which would be very, very cool. But that's not this stream. If you missed that exciting part of CCP streaming lore, I'm sorry. You can read about it on Reddit, I'm sure. Yeah, you can fly a fish, Blurpsec. It's crazy how that works. Anyway, welcome, like I said, to Frontier Friday. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're not in the studio today. We are at machines, and the reason we're at these machines is because we're going to show you some exciting new developments. Maybe the biggest single change we've made to the way you interact with Frontier since we started the game. I mean, really, maybe ever, period, just in general. The biggest way you interact with the game in all of like EVE history, in terms of just like how much of a difference it makes in the feel of the game. And we're going to get to that. Before we do, first of all, shout out to the Game 3 Awards, who just a little bit ago gave us an award for Best Adventure Game, which is crazy, but they did do it. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to CCP Jötunn, who's there in Manila right now and accepted the award for us. Shout out to CCP Overload, who recorded a speech that we did not think we were going to win, but we're glad that we did. So this is pretty cool. Anyway, you can read more about it. We put the link on Twitter. It's pretty neat. So, gentlemen, first of all, thank you both so much for doing this. CCP Paragon found out basically the last minute that he was going to have to come on this stream, and look how good he looks. He just looks so nice.
There's a mess, and
no one can tell. He's currently sitting in CCP Helmar's office, so ambitions. You know what I mean? We are gonna be showing you guys
the computers in the cave.
They left the computers in the cave. Honestly, the computers might not work.
What happened?
They may not work after that cave. They were so wet in there. It were just like it was.
We have whole PCs for doing exactly this, and can't use them because they're too caved.
Yeah, they're too caved. Unfortunately, not ideal. But okay. What we're going to do is we're going to show you guys, we're going to talk very little about this. We're just going to kind of get into it, and then we'll talk more about it then. We're going to talk about manual controls. So we've talked about this more and more over the last couple of months. I think we first started talking about it as early as like December of last year when we first put out the Vision trailer for Frontier. And in the Vision trailer, one of the things you see is somebody deftly and nimbly maneuvering around some kind of big structure, right? And the question that came up at the time was, hey, that's cool. Why can't we fucking do that right now? Because the control scheme for EVE is well suited to the control scheme for EVE Online. It does what it needs to do. But in Frontier, we're trying to make not just your positioning be important, which is to say not just the spacing between you and the other guy with regards to range for your weapons be important, but also occlusion matters in Frontier. Being able to maneuver deftly around obstacles matters in Frontier. And we have some super cool dungeon designers. Shout out to CCP who's working on a bunch of really cool stuff. You're going to see one of those here in just a little bit. I'm pretty sure he made that. Maybe it was CCP Paragon. I don't know. And like all these things have this really intricate geometry that you might need to maneuver around. So, all that means we need more intuitive controls for maneuvering. Double-clicking in space isn't quite going to do it anymore. And honestly, there are a lot of controls in the game that are just a little bit outdated. The approach movement control orbits, keep at range. Those are all great in EVE Online, but we're gonna try something new for a little while and see what you guys think. So let's go ahead and get to gentlemen. First of all, I keep saying the thing that I think I'm gonna say, but I'm not gonna say it. CCP Paragon. You are a game designer who has worked on this feature specifically. You and your guys' team is actually working on this, which is cool. And CCP Overload is here because
he's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy, and apparently he's a true gamer. So
people yearn for our CCP Overload.
We're trying to get a good balance of accents.
Man of the people.
Yeah. Man of the people. All right, so let's go ahead and send it over to the client. If I can send it to the client. Oh, wrong button. There's the button. Here we go. All right, here we are, everybody. We are in the frontier again. I'm in my little ship. All of this will probably look very familiar to you. Nothing here seems to change. We do have this circle in the middle of the screen here. This is your WASD control bar. That'll show you your pitch, your yaw, your speed indicator here on the left. You can increase your speed. There are 4 different settings for speed, and then 1 special setting we'll talk about here in a second. And those are all, obviously, those have a bunch of different settings here that you can adjust, and you can reset these too. These are all rewindable. But one of the coolest things that you're going to see, at least on this model, I don't know if they're on the other models yet, I don't think they are yet, is we've now added thrusters. You can now reorient your ship without moving using these little positional thrusters, which are super cool. They have come out from all different angles. They go all kinds of different ways, which is super neat. You can turn your ship around, twist it around, and if you, like these 2 idiots over here, you can also just sit there and, I guess...
gracefully pirouette.
Gracefully pirouette forever.
Yes. Hands off.
Just gonna look in real close over here, see what action is happening. Yep, just these 2 morons just on their noses, spinning in opposite direction.
I mean, maybe I'll go on my tail for a while. Hang on, let me flip around.
Yep, see if you can flip it around. Here he goes. Wow, look at him. Look how majestic he is.
Yeah.
Yep. That's something else. I mean, that's just pretty spectacular stuff. So yes, what we've done now is we've added not just these the ability to adjust your ship's position, because front and back does matter in Frontier. In fact, not just front and back. Before too long, the side of your ship that is facing any direction at any given moment will also matter, because of some of the new fitting things that are coming somewhere down the line. Which is super cool. So, just to give you a quick overview on how this works, before we jump into showing you what a site looks like. This is the very brief look at how this works. So, you'll click E to get your ship moving. E will get you. You have basically 4 different settings on your throttle here. That are pretty easy to set, and you have basically a slow ahead version, which is what this is. You have a middle speed version, a 3/4 speed, and a full speed. So if we just go up here to full speed, you can get us zoom in here a little bit. You'll see the thrusters will continue to try and orient you in the direction you want to orient. You have a pitch up and a pitch down, obviously. Those things are all pretty straightforward. This feels very good, honestly. It feels, I mean, all the ships feel a little bit different. Smaller ships will feel a little bit more nimble than bigger ships. Bigger ships obviously have a lot of heft to them, and will be a little bit harder to control, but they feel weighty, I guess is the way I would say it. Of course, control space still stops your ship, and now, since you can adjust your speed forward with E, moves your speed bar up, you can also set the speed bar to 0 or backwards with Q, and in a shocking turn of events, you can now hit Q again and go in reverse. So you can back up. And before anybody asks, you 100% can parallel park in Frontier now. I've tried it. Not as bad as you would think. So, before Lacal asks, you cannot shoot me. I'm on the test server. I am safe from you specifically. This was planned out ahead of time. So, before we jump into a site, CCP Paragon, let's very briefly, we talked about this a little bit on the stream the other day. When we brought you on to kind of first show this off, but what is the intention here with how should this feel when players are navigating around space? Like what is the Like, what does this do that just double clicking in space does not do, from your point of view?
So yeah, this is a completely unprepared question. So let me think about the.
I mean, this is like the.
Let me think about the answer first for a moment.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
And how do I explain it? So, well, number one, kind of on the why.
Yeah.
Well, we want to make a different type of game than EVE Online, which is very much a like simulated space with a lot of polish, right?
Sure.
But it's not really a kind of, the skill part of it mostly comes from knowledge instead of your, engaging or like kind of dexterity skill gameplay.
Sure.
So that's what we're going for. Like this is a hardcore game and everything, and we still want it to be like the EVE ethos, but it's a different set of problems. And in this case, it's you are flying your ship is one of those problems, and the price of admission is skill. It's like this could be done where it's just like an EVE, you double click and your ship does. It flies perfectly, basically, for you always, and makes no mistakes. Here, basically, you are the one who's flying the ship, so you need to, display your skill. That's the why, and additionally, it's not just flying your ship with WASD. It's also we want to make something which is less interface management and more engaging stuff to do.
Yeah.
Action-wise. For us to do that, we needed to like create some space, especially on the mouse, to do some kind of mousing, or it's not necessarily a controller. Keyboard and mouse. It can also be, ported to a controller or some kind of other device. But like that's the idea. It's like you're more in a flow state of playing the game than current EVE, where it's very like the tempo of the action is very like slow for a very long time, and then exceptionally fast for a very brief amount of time, and then very slow. This gives us something more kind of like just like stable.
I described it the other day to somebody who I was talking to about it, and I said, and I'm gonna also hit this rock. Fuck. All right. I'm gonna try not to do that. It's not ideal. It feels the difference that this gives me, or the different way that this feels is, in EVE Online, you spend a lot of time watching things happen, watching your ship move, watching your guns fire, watching just transit through space. And a lot of the action, the interface comes in between those moments, right? While you're watching something happen, you're doing something else. The difference now is that in Frontier, you're not really just watching something happen. You have to be the one to make the turn, right? There is no right-click approach anymore. You need to, like, if you see a thing in space, you just move your ship in that direction, and that will get you there. And it does change very dramatically. I played with this a lot last night. I was playing with it a bit today before the stream too. If I could try to not hit the rocks, which is what I'm about to do. Yeah, okay. I mean,
so
it's a huge rock.
Just in case, so this is actually a very early development build that's running on a test server,
Right,
and there are a number of issues with it. One of them is there's a non-zero chance that when you collide with something, it crashes completely. So if that happens, that's because CCP Jötunn flew into something.
That's true. If we do crash the server, we'll bring I will jump back in short order, but this is not the first time this has happened. I've run into many things and just crashed the server as a result. So shout out to me for doing that. But yeah, huge rock. Somehow can't miss it. But like I was saying, the feeling changes immediately, and you're going to see it here pretty quickly when we get into the site that we're going to go take a look at that we put together for this. Because, and again, we've talked about this. CCP Goodfellow has talked about this a lot as well. one of the things we're trying to do is we're trying to capture a vibe, right? We're trying to capture not just a vibe with our base building elements or the the art style, but also just the feel of how interfacing with a starship should be. Is it just that you like, hey, go over there and then you go over there, or should it be a little bit more hands-on, or what other kind of options should you have? And we're trying to chase this what do you call it? Chase the dragon of the vision trailer, right? And I've already mentioned that before, but the vision trailer gives you a lot of ideas about how this should feel, and the current control scheme in EVE Online just doesn't quite hit those ideals. Great for EVE Online, not exactly what we're looking for Frontier. So, with that being said, is somebody else crashing to something?
I am.
Oh, it's you. Okay, very good. With that being said, we are going to go ahead and go over to a site I have prepared, which actually I should say that I prepared. CCP Paragon prepared it. So I'm going to, I think this. Where's the beacon at? Where's the beacon at?
So yeah, and there's more to it than the kind of game feel that we're chasing, which you just described. Like it is also just the ultimate sci-fi fantasy that we are chasing. Like, and if this is your small ship, if we'd want to do automatic controls like double clicking, we'd probably want to do like the full bells and whistles with pathfinding, so your ship doesn't crash into stuff. That makes no sense.
No.
And things like that.
All right. Well, get ready to warp to me. I just warped myself.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is just like if you think it's like X-wing, that's not the case. Like it's more a build your own adventure kind of deal with different size ships, different ways to control them. But this is the one that we didn't have, and have to make the real-time controls here. So.
Gotcha.
You're being shot at.
I am being shot at. We're gonna kill these guys first because I want to show people exploration, but I can't do that until we kill the rats that you guys put in here. Which shout out for that. Appreciate it. I guess it shouldn't have been easy, huh? I'm gonna kill these dudes real quick. Make sure not to.
I need to fly up there.
Die immediately. There's one. Here's the other.
It's navigating, like when you see something and you need to get up there, it's quite intuitive. So all the controls are mappable, of course. So I've inverted my W and S because it feels better to me. So people can kind of like set them up however they want them to do. But like seeing the enemies and then having to like not just like right click approach and be able to like turn my ship and kind of arc around. You can also, because you can go forward and backwards, if you take off your thrust, you will like close to a stop like normal. Same as second control space, but you can actually apply reverse thrust to slow down quicker.
I was gonna say
kind of like handbrake turn.
I was fucking around with handbrake turns earlier. That is especially when you think about like spinal weapons being mounted either in the front and the back of your ship, and you needing to have like line of sight of one of those weapons on the enemy or on your target. And then like having to swing your ship around real fast to do that. I'm just gonna flip over upside down here real fast, no big deal.
I also feel like it makes you think more about your speed, because normally like if you're playing EVE Online, like there's no reason ever not to essentially go like full speed.
Yeah.
But like you want to like slow down a couple of bits to like make a turn tighter so you can stay in cover, and then speed back up as you like cross open areas. You end up, even like fighting right now, I'm using my speed a bit different. I'm like controlling it so I stay in better range. It's a lot easier to do with the different adjustments. It feels good.
It does feel really good. Go down here.
That shot that you're in right now looks very much like came out of the trailer because of the way you were zoomed in there.
I was gonna say this here.
Back in
if you
like that.
If you do this.
Yeah, that looks like very much from the trailer.
Yeah, this is the vibe. This is. I mean, obviously we still got some work to do. With some of the setting, and this, I mean, again, a lot of these assets we kind of put together just for this test to show off how this feels. But now that we're in here, let's go ahead. Go inside. Yeah, I'm gonna dive into this thing. I'm gonna reduce speed a little bit so I don't immediately hit everything that I run into. Now, if you're looking on my screen right now and you can see this little like X kind of follow me around, that is a prototype for the new manual targeting system. It's not currently working, or at least not on this build. But you can see the X. That is the direction the guns are pointed currently, and right now they're just kind of pointed in front of my ship. But you can see when, like, I can actually, if I go into the gun camera mode, you can see when I move my camera around, the turrets will try and track where the camera's going. Obviously, it can only move at the turret speed. You can't just like whip around 360 no scope. You do kind of have to like track things a little bit, like so, which is pretty cool. But that is.
I'm at the back of the three of us right now, and it's quite cool, like following a couple of other ships. Although I'm about to overtake you because you're slow.
Yeah,
I am a little slow.
There's we can talk a bit like about the design here. So, space is like a very challenging place to make a controller if you don't want it to feel like, you know, Space Sim, X-Wing, you know, Star Wars, like those kind of feelings. So like, why don't we just let you do like these barrel rolls and like spin everything around? We have a system which you fly in, which is called world space. So everyone sort of is flying in the same coordinates, and it's a combination of like automatic movements by the actual ship itself and your inputs. And so up is always up, and down is always down, regardless of who it is. And that is to just help you orientate yourself as you kind of keep track of where you are in your brain, really. Like if the ship is an extension of yourself here in the game, then you kind of can. It helps you. We give you gravity almost, so that you can, you know, understand what you're orienting.
Right.
It doesn't mean we're not gonna like let you turn that off and do like manual roll and whatever. But like at least for the beginning, we really wanted to validate this feeling of you know, you feel like you just understand how you're oriented, especially when you're playing with friends. Like right now, we're flying next to each other, and that's like very maximized for the social design. So as soon as we have everything feeling really smooth there, you know, we can take a look at more difficult, like higher mastery stuff for you to be better, basically.
I was showing when we were I was showing this off to some of the community guys the other day, and I managed to somehow just with the
I'm hitting the wall.
Yeah, the CCP overload.
I lost control over there.
Gunning it into the into the trench a little bit too fast. But I was showing them like one of the things I managed to do a barrel roll accidentally, you know, without like really thinking about it too hard. And God, that is so loud. We're gonna have to work on that sound.
Yeah.
That's very well known.
Yeah. But
I like this feeling of like weight as well. Like these are not starfighters; these are starships. Like they're huge ships. They feel like they have mass, and it feels very much like a scene from, I don't know, Star Trek or something, when you see like, the Enterprise navigating around something.
Yeah, somebody in chat already mentioned the Expanse, which I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
When we talk about this, like this feels very like deliberate, I think is what I would like. That's the argument that I
really just want to like hide a fleet in a structure somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're occluded so you can't see them, and then you kind of just like pop out.
Yeah. And the little thrusters are pretty neat too.
I love the little thrusters were a total surprise to me, by the way. I did not know those were going in. I had mentioned them to one of the art designers the other day. Or I guess it was a couple weeks ago at this point, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we're probably gonna work on that." I did not realize like we're going to work on that meant they were gonna at the moment.
It's worth noting something else is pretty cool. So right now you're under thrust. Just cut your thrust.
Yep.
You'll notice that the engines at the back of your ship are off, but you're still moving forward.
Yep.
Because they're not producing thrust right now.
I also
and
like
if
the
you ramp
fact
it up, they'll get
stronger. There we go. And it's even stronger if you kick your afterburner on. Though this afterburner is a little overtuned, I think, for this ship.
A little bit.
One of the things too that I really enjoy about this is that it makes like exploration feel like something that is feasible, right? Like previously, if I wanted to approach an object, right, if it's in a dense or inside of a structure, there's really no way that I'm going to get in there easily, right? Between 1 second tick times and and having to just maneuver with clicking and trying not to click on the wrong things. Like, that can get kind of arduous pretty fast. But doing it this way, it feels like you can create now geometry that not only matters, but like is interesting to maneuver through. And so it gives you a lot of options for, especially just the option to be able to back up, which seems like such a silly thing to talk about. But like reversing in space, it's something that we have never had before in this kind of game. But it means that if you get yourself into a corner, you really can just kind of like back out slowly. You know what I mean? Which I think is hot. Super hot.
Yeah. I mean, we've obviously been discussing like for a very long time on how do we deliver on this exploration spaceship fantasy idea that everyone has in their head. And, we're getting closer to it now. And now we just need to, look at what kind of content we can make for this.
Yeah.
But just we don't want to make mini games.
Yeah.
And say that's exploration. Like this is what it should. This is what the game feel should be. You're like looking for stuff, and you're flying, and you're genuinely exploring. That's the game feel. What it should be.
Yeah, I mean, it really does feel really, really, really good. And they're just moments you have when you're like if I wanted just to park in this little spot right here. Let's say I wanted to just hide in this little crevasse here. All I have to do is kind of swing the ship around real slow, like pitch up a bit so I don't hit anything. Like really deliberate about it. Bring the nose around just like this. Oh, and somebody's gonna hit something down there for sure. Nope, never mind. No, you're not. Who is that? Oh, it's Paragon.
Yeah, I've been playing quite a bit, so
yeah.
I don't want to say I'm the best, but there's only really it's like 20 people who played this.
Yeah.
Like I'm up there.
So then you can just get yourself situated in here, and then just like turn around, so that at a moment's notice, if you see a bad guy, CCP overload right there, you can just like, oh shit, here he is, and then gun it, and be on your merry way. You know what I mean? You just go straight to attack position immediately. This question has already come up in chat, but I want to bring it up with you as well, because this is something that I know people have been talking about a bunch, is joysticks. This feels like it should be something that is bound to a joystick. Is like HOTAS support something that we are looking at some point in the future, or are we just trying to look at like focusing on mouse and keyboard? Holy shit, what the fuck was that?
What?
It's quite hard to...
He hit my back end. He came out of nowhere and clipped my back end.
Yeah.
It was anyway. HOTAS support.
Yeah, we're discussing like we call it WASD and mouse. That's I mean that's the first one we did.
Yeah.
But that's not really what we are maximizing for. Like what we are maximizing for is the widest amount of audience, like the most people that we can be able to enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just very soon we are looking at starting to map inputs for console controllers, and as an extension, it's going to be like that would be the same for maybe like HOTAS or whatever you want. It won't all be there immediately, but like if a bunch of people ask for it, like I don't see why we shouldn't do it.
Yeah, it feels very natural to me. The idea of like if I had a stick in the left hand and a mouse in the right, like mouse for the camera and guns, stick for thrust, for pitch yaw, like that feels very good, I think, to me.
It's probably worth mentioning as well, like one of the things I quite like about it is because these are quote spaceships rather than starfighters, they're not just a case of like holding WASD to move around. You could use at the moment we have it set to Alt, but you kind of like set the controls. Like, so like you can like lock the steering 3 notches left and have it like permanently make a swoop. So if you wanted to like still orbit around something, you can quite easily set up your own orbit and just leave it in a permanent continuous roll.
The issue with keyboard is we also just like there's only 2 states. It's just like 1 or 0. So we can't do the the fine control you get with either a joystick or a controller. So for keyboard, we really needed something like this. Otherwise, just to be able to do more fine control for the keyboard.
Yeah.
But when we put this on like a console controller, I mean, it's less of an issue. We would probably put it there too, but
yeah, playing this on like a Steam Deck or something would be pretty neat.
To kind of play with.
Yeah, I could definitely see it being played. I mean, we have already gotten users playing the game on Steam Deck. This feels like
not officially supported, but
not officially supported, but they have done it, and it feels like this is the natural progression to that, right?
I really like when you zoom in, the camera sort of positioned above the ship. Going through some of these things and doing like a sweeping turn does give straight out of trailer vibes. And we talked about this a bunch of how we use the trailer to like the vision trailers to infer designs. You know, it's like that's what we're aiming for. It's not just even if it's not accurate when it comes out. It will be accurate at some point.
Yeah, you can hit V too, which puts you. This is like the old focus mode, and this is where it like locks the camera right behind the ship. You still have your your navigation or your camera control for moving your gun around, but you're not. And then you can just like zoom out again, and you're back into normal mode. Yeah, I mean, and to be very clear about this, when I said that we were removing some of the automatic controls for this, right-clicking this right now, you'll see does nothing. There's no approach, there's no orbit, there's no keep it range. In this build, those are gone. The only controls you have are the manual controls. And one of the things we're going to be looking at, and this is a good time to announce this, we're actually going to announce two things. So, many of you may remember that not too long ago, I was talking about doing a tournament in Frontier. Well, plans have changed, and the reason for that is because we're getting these manual controls next weekend. They're coming out. We're going to start a test of the manual control scheme on the 27th in-game. That test is going to run until the 1st, and at that point, we're going to make a decision whether or not we're going to extend the test a little bit longer, just keep them in the game. A lot of this is going to be dependent on how it performs. It's going to be very much dependent on how development feels about it, how product feels about how things are going, and it's going to depend on feedback from you guys as well. So we're going to do this test starting from the 27th. So if you want to get in and play around with it, see how it feels, not just on these little ships, but also the bigger ships you've got. I can tell you right now, I was trying it with a Chumak the other day, and that is a very unique experience. Thanks again, there, CCP Paragon, for trying to hit me. You missed, but I did see what you were trying to do. So we are going to be doing this for sure. We do have the radial menu. Yeah, absolutely, you have the radial menu, but you'll notice that all these options are blacked out. Not even grayed out; they are blacked out. So there is no approach, there is no orbit, there is no keep it range. So we're going to be doing the test, and because we're going to be doing the test, and because we're going to be messing around with the control schemes, I'm going to back burner you, motherfucker. He I do like that it changes your direction. It is.
Oh yeah, just wait till we add in the collision damage.
Fuck me.
When you fly into the side of a giant structure at 2 kilometers a second, it's not going to go well for you.
All this to say, so we're gonna table our Winter Classic. We'll probably do the Winter Classic in the summer, the Winter Classic in July, maybe. We'll see. But what we're gonna focus on is this, and we're going to focus on like making sure this feels good. What I didn't want to do was for us to, because I did not realize we were going to be getting this so soon. If I knew this was coming, I probably would have planned a little bit differently, but I did not. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to focus on getting this in front of players, seeing how this feels, seeing how you guys react to it, how development reacts to it, and then make some decisions from there. What we are going to do is we are going to do a kind of like a tournament showcase. Oh, we are being shot by what? Oh, these rats over here. At least one of them. There are 2 of them here. Hang on. This guy is giving you some gas. Where do these guys come from?
Who knows?
They climbed out the walls, I think.
Yeah, they did climb out the walls. I'm gonna run on this wall here. we are going to do a bit of a showcase, maybe think of it like a show match in tournament style. So what I'll do is I'm going to reach out to a couple people in the community. If this is something you're interested in, be paying attention when I ping it out in Discord. Once we've given people a chance to kind of get their hands on it, get a feel for it, see what they think about it, then we'll do our show match in tournament style just to see what it would feel like for more people to do it in this way, and see how you feel. So yes, no tournament on the 6th or 7th because we're going to be focusing on this instead, and we will reschedule the tournament for a later date. However, people who were participating in the... Oh, and there goes Overload just zooming. Look at him go. Look at that guy. He's just on his merry way, isn't he? People who contributed to our social media contest, I am still going to give you grace for that because you did participate in that. And I appreciate it, and I love you. You'll get some grace for it. I don't know how much. Probably not the winning amount, but you'll get some grace. So I don't want you to feel like you wasted any time. So we're gonna. This is the plan. The plan right now is next weekend. I think it's like what, next Saturday, Friday, Saturday, whatever day the 27th is. You understand how dates work. Thursday. Thank you. Next Thursday, we're going to start the test. We'll send out notifications for it, all kinds of stuff. If you get the chance, get in here, try it out. We're still going to be, this is just a founders only thing. So if you want to be a founder, you can be a founder and try it out right now. Or you can just wait till our next free play period. I suspect, and this is no pressure on development because I'm sure they love it when I put ultimatums on them. I suspect people are going to love this. And I say that because I am somebody who loves, this is the way, like being, like stripping away like the, oh, I work here kind of vibe for a second. This is what I wanted the game to be when I first hired on. Like when this game was first described to me by Scott, CCP Overload, like what I got out of that was, oh, it's going to be a more like dynamic version of Eve without all of like a grittier, more dynamic version of Eve. And I was sold on this idea of, piloting the ship and moving around in these dark environments and searching out caves and all this kind of stuff. And this is like not just feasible, friends. This is real. It's here now. Like, yeah, the geometry in this test dungeon that we've made here is pretty like straightforward and pretty easy. But like, can you imagine? Give some of these site designers a couple of months toying around with these labyrinthine structures that you could just like get lost in, that are full of fucking monsters and ferals and traps and all kinds of stuff. Like this is the vibe, dude. This is like, it makes it not just a point and click and watch the ship happen and then be doing other things at the same time kind of game, and fully becomes the most immersive Starship-ish experience that's still in alpha, to be very clear, that I've played in a long time. And if this is the kind of thing that interests you, it's going to make multi-boxing real hard, guys, if I'm being perfectly honest. I will even go so far as to say that while removing the overview over on the side of the screen was maybe the first nail in the coffin for like mass multi-boxing, these manual controls may be the thing that fucking buries it. And for a game like Frontier, it does not bother me one bit, because this feels very, very good. It feels so good to play the game this way. The tick rate makes a huge difference. Occlusion makes a huge difference. Listening to this fucking asshole down here just bounce off.
I found the invisible wall.
Yeah, you did. You did find an invisible wall down there, didn't you? I'm gonna come visit you real fast. Hang on.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that I am, in fact, Thunderbird 1. All right, so here we go. I'm going to point out of my emergency escape hole. So look above.
Right.
Look up.
Hang on. Let me point my head back up here.
So I am, of course, Thunderbird 1, ready for launch. This is my exit. The international rescue has been called.
Rescue's been
called.
Here
Let's go.
There he goes.
There we go.
Look at that
Off
man.
to save the world.
He's off. Look at him.
One.
Look at him go. He's zooming. Yeah, it's nuts. It's really
it's just fun.
It's so much fun. And I feel kind of like a dick, honestly, because I've been Like, I've been doing nothing but this for the last couple of days. I've barely been doing my own job. I went to a cave and just kind of winged it for a couple hours the other night.
Once you get good at like manipulating the throttle, you can really make like some tight turns because you can like slam it into reverse, really like pull it and then shoot forward again.
Yeah, what I love is afterburnering on, throwing it in reverse, turning the afterburner off, throwing it in reverse, swinging the ass end around like so, and then afterburnering back on and going forward again. Like that feels...
You get really fast and like it becomes quite a skill-based thing. I can hear someone who's failing the skill check.
I was just basking in my own like
is that what it was?
Graces, and I flew into a wall.
Very good, very good. So yeah, this is the vibe. This is what we're gonna do. We're running short on time now, so we're not gonna be here too much longer. I honestly could do this all day. I honestly might do this after we're finished. Actually, that's not true. I'm gonna do live to feed, but after live to feed, I'm gonna do more of this. Because unironically, this is the most fun I've had playing Frontier easily since the game started. And honestly, maybe even a long time, if I'm being real. Like, not necessarily in like, I don't mean like in fights. Fights are a different thing. Fights are great. But just like, I could spend hours just boating around things. Like, just getting a feel for the controls. Just like getting up close to stuff. Just like navigating around things. Like, this turns what was previously the most boring aspect of our game into something that I like want to do with some frequency, which I think is pretty cool. And I think that the team who put this together is doing a great job. I mean, the whole team's doing a great job, but this team's doing a really, really good job, and I appreciate them doing it. One thing that I should also mention before we get out of here, and I might need your guys' help with this if you want to come over here real fast. We have a new addition to the clone death loop, where when you die in game, we're changing how that feels and how that works, because we're aiming for a system that is different, certainly different, and plays out quite a bit differently. How you respawn, where you respawn, how your clone works. So we are going to show you off that here in a moment after these two finish killing me. I hope I get a good one, because one of the things you're going to see is, oh, I have died. Do we have new explosion mechanics, or explosion visuals, by the way?
No.
They feel very different. Oh, yep, this is a good one. You'll see your clone here, just all shredded, gasping for life, and then he dies. That's pretty horrifying. This is not the most traumatic one. There's one that like
there's some really traumatic ones.
Twitches and like gasps for air. It's horrifying.
When respawn, I'll come to you and kill you again.
Oh, very good. Oh yeah. Yes. This is fine. I really do want to get a good one. Let me. Come on. Map. Here we go. Oh, it's because I put us way underneath the map. All right. We'll try one more real fast, and if we get a good one, I'll be happy, and we'll call it there. Hang on 1 second. Oh, betrayal by the homies live on stream. It's true, Aki. This is my life. This is real. It is what
normally CCP Jötunn betraying himself as well.
That's real. All right, I'm back. You can come over here and kill me if you want to.
Okay, 1 second.
Just dude on over here. When is the Remnant trial coming back? Le Legats. We will be announcing it before too long when the next one's going to be. It'll be sometime in cycle 4, which is going to start at the beginning, sometime around the beginning of December. I could just self-destruct. You're right. This is funnier, and it lets CCP Overload get out some frustration. So, there we go. Dying again. So we'll check or just keep an eye out on socials on Discord. We'll be doing announcements for it. Let's see which one this is. Good one. Oh yeah, this one's really good. Yeah, look. Oh yeah, he's. Oh, this is rough. He's just Oh yeah, and then he just like slowly just stops moving and.
F's in chat for CCP Jötunn.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That feels big spooky.
Yeah, because I mean, it gives you that thing of like like, normally you used to just like self-destruct and like head home, but now you have to like watch your lifeless clone that
Yes.
it have feelings and everything.
It
You took
feels.
over it, and now it's just twitching in the space.
The first time I saw it, I felt bad. Like I felt like, oh, I'm a dick. Like I let this guy die. I didn't mean to, but I did. Well, I mean, you know. Yeah, it's something else. So all that being said, excuse me, it's sick. We're gonna go back to this camera here real fast. The game is this control scheme changes the game, like just straight up. I'm gonna tell you for real, just straight up changes the game. I hope you give it a shot. Judging by chat, there's some of you who will never play this game, which is fine. It's okay. There are a lot of games out there. You can play whatever you want. But if you want to give this a shot, see how it feels, see how it works. Starting on the 27th. Again, I'm pretty sure it's the 27th. I am going to check. It is, in fact, the 27th. The 27th through the 1st. So that's next Thursday through the following Monday. We'll be doing a live test of this on Stillness, our main server. So come check it out, see how it feels. And then we're going to be sending out a survey afterwards to get your feedback on it, see what your thoughts are. And then at that point we'll decide what we want to do. We may decide that it still needs a little bit of work, and we're gonna turn it off for a while, and go back to development for just a little bit. Or if everything looks great and you guys like it and we like it, then who knows? We'll see what happens. So shout out, of course, to everybody on our team who's working on all this cool stuff and all the other cool stuff. I mean, this is going to get a lot of press just because it's such an intimate part of the experience. But there's so many other cool things being worked on all the time by everybody on the team, both gameplay mechanics, base building mechanics, economy, art, sound, whatever CCP Overload does on a day-to-day basis. Like, all these things are really important and really cool and very, very important and good. So I hope you give it a shot. I've been CCP Jötunn. I've been joined by my colleagues, my good friends, my brothers in arms, CCP Overload, CCP Paragon. And until next time, everybody, have a good weekend, and we'll see you on the frontier.